Welcome to the Head Guy podcast. This podcast has been sponsored by Mahaba, the #1 destination guide here in Qatar. Pick your copy up in the local supermarket or wherever you can find Mahaba, or go online. So, weird intro. My special guests here today are Ian and Dionne. Marks.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us on the show.
So, why are we here?
Happy to discuss more about 24-hour foodie.
Okay, let's start there. Yes. So my guys came across your Instagram site, and I don't know how else they got in contact, but they told me, I need you guys on the podcast. And I am fascinated. Not that I love, because I try to avoid social media. I try because I know how much time gets wasted
Very true.
on social media, and it is a huge distraction. So I've literally moved my social media to a place on the phone that I can't reach generally. But when I do come across it, I am fascinated. And, I've met a lot of influencers, and I'm fascinated about that whole journey. And I did go on your LinkedIn pages as well. So, curious about your background on how you got there, et cetera, et cetera. But let's start with 24-hour foodie. Where did the idea come from?
Yeah.
So the idea of 24-hour foodie, actually before 24-hour foodie, it was a page for photography because it started out with my passion for photography.
And was there any specific style of photography that you were doing on Instagram?
All across Doha. So it was food, it was sites, it was everything Doha. Because we've been here so long, Doha is kind of part of our identity, and that's where 24-hour foodie was born.
And how long have you guys been here in Doha?
Been here very long. Stefan, very, very long. I came in 2001.
Okay.
I started my career with one of the leading airlines in Qatar. And Dionne came in 2005. So we were cabin crew, and we were traveling to different places, different destinations and countries, tried different cuisine, different food. And that's where the love for food came in. And there was a time when we used to fly to Japan, and there was sushi on board and sashimi. And we looked at it like, we are from India. We've never tried it before. And for the first time we seen it, and he says, can we really eat that? Because it was served in the first class, it was served in the business class. And then it's more like an acquired taste when you've never tried it before. And that's where the love of food came in.
Yeah, so I'm curious, with the love of food, so whereabouts in India are you guys from? Bombay.
Say, Mumbai.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
So what kind of cuisine are we talking about in Mumbai?
So you're talking about your street food. So he is not born and brought up in Bombay. I am born and brought up in Bombay. So street food, the cuisine in Bombay, if you visit Mumbai, what you should try is street food. So I'm talking about your pani puris and your vada paos and things like that. Street food, that's what they're famous for.
And Indian food predominantly is very spicy, normally very spicy, lots of spices in there, lots of masalas in there. And coming from Mumbai and eating all the spices and masalas, and then coming into an airline where, you're flying different destinations and the cuisine is very different, we got a chance to try a lot of them, and we loved it.
But that's it. And I'm always curious, because my parents, one parent is from Sweden, one parent is from the UK. And there's slight differences in cuisine. But when you come from a culture where it is, the food is very spicy, and doesn't your palate kind of just get used to that kind of spice? So any other place or any other culture where spice is involved, or there's a lack of spice, don't you yearn for that? Doesn't your body go, oh, maybe they should have added a bit of...
No, I think also we're open to trying more cuisines. So it's like he said, it's an acquired taste. So for us, it's tasting different things and then realizing that you don't always need spice in everything. There is flavor in things that even if they don't have spice.
That was a bit like me growing up. As a kid, it was always, where's the ketchup bottle? Well, whenever
everything you need ketchup on it.
Absolutely. Every type of food that was presented to me, where's the ketchup? And it used to annoy my mum completely. It was just like, No, try it first. Enjoy the
For
flavor.
me, it was mayonnaise because I was born and brought up in Bahrain, and it was mayonnaise with everything for me.
Oh, really?
So it was just mayonnaise, yeah.
So, okay, this love of food. So you're experiencing this love of food. What made you then, decide, you're into Dionne, you said you're into photography. So when did you decide, let's match it up and let's start putting it out on Instagram?
So a couple of years after I started the page, I wanted to niche down and do one particular thing because it was all over the place. I was posting food, I was posting sites, I was posting travel, everything in one. So when we decided to niche it down to one thing, food is what we picked. And I think that was
I think
somewhere
that was the best choice.
yeah,
I think best choice, I think.
2017-ish, somewhere around.
Why did you think it was the best choice? What wasn't feeling right at the time?
We were also, I think she was also guided by one of our friends.
So
One of our friends. Yeah.
one of my friends who was over here back in the day, she was on Instagram as well. She was called Fashion Squad on Instagram, Kelly. So she was the one who directed me and told me that, it's best, and I appreciate her advice till date, is to have a niche so that when people go to your page, they're not just haphazardly looking at everything. They know that if they want to find food, they go to your page. Because if your page is about everything, what you're passionate about gets lost in the middle of all of that.
Yeah, yeah. And so when you look at your Instagram feed, is there a food that generally pops up predominantly? Is there something that you really are drawn to, or there is a complete there is a balance between all foods?
So on the page, there is a balance between all.
Well, Ian's kind of laughing. So.
Our favorites, yeah. I'm just going to say our favorites, yeah. The page has everything on it, different kinds of cuisine from all over the world.
Yeah.
However, we are drawn to Japanese food.
Yes.
We love Japanese food. I think for us, one of our favorite was the black cod at Nobu. They serve the black cod. That was amazing. I mean, Japanese food, we could eat it every day.
That is
There you go. If you're listening, here's the two guys to promote Japanese food. Okay. So I'm just curious, looking at you two, you do say that you're from India, but is there any mix? Because you are an attractive couple.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
not,
you.
I'm not saying Indian people are ugly, but there's something there that's different.
I know I'm Indian, and I'm proud to be an Indian.
Then
Yeah,
have
I'm
you
proud
gone
to be
back?
Indian.
Have you gone back in your roots?
I've never traced my roots,
Okay.
so I wouldn't know. But I'm proud to be an Indian.
of
Yeah.
me. So for me, my dad comes from Goa, and my mom comes from Daman. Both of those were at some point Portuguese
colonies. So they could be.
but never traced it to actually
yeah,
know. But
yeah.
they were Portuguese
Yeah.
colonies.
And it was funny because I did see when you walked in, I thought, oh, Ian's a very very handsome man, and then he said, oh, actually, I'm used to this because I've been in front of cameras before, and it was just like, oh, there you go. There's a certain suave about you. Does that come through on your Instagram page as well? Do you use that?
Yes.
Do you
yes.
use that appeal?
I use it. I use it quite a bit. I'm very comfortable in front of the camera,
Yeah.
and I always tell Dionne, we need to talk more. We need to talk more. We need to be more visible.
Yeah.
The audience
Absolutely.
wants to see, the audience
on.
wants to see you,
You're on.
and it's very important that they connect with you.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. That Dionne's trying to get into it.
He's trying to get me out of my shell.
So, Dionne, would you say you're more of an introvert? You're more,
I'm not an introvert. I'm
not an
very
introvert.
talkative, except
Okay.
if you put me in front of a camera. I'm so used to being behind the camera.
She does everything from, she's very creative. Dionne's very
I'm more
creative.
behind the camera. I'm
Ideas.
just very conscious when I'm in front of
yeah,
the
but
camera.
look, you're doing so well, and you
I'm
don't
trying to ignore the camera. in front of
exactly.
me.
You don't even have to know that the camera's there. So yes, so would you say that on your Instagram page, it's more about the food sells the Instagram page more than you guys at the moment, but there can be a way of you introducing yourselves more of having
Yes.
a personality.
Definitely yes.
So the future for the page is definitely going to be more food challenges and more interactive things where we are participating in it rather than just showcasing the food.
Yeah. I'm just curious, what kind of feedback do you get from your audience with your feed and your Instagram page?
So we do get we
We get a
get
lot
told
of
that
positive
people,
feedback.
we do get positive feedback, and we do get told that we should be on camera more whenever I do
often, yeah.
posters. But yeah, we love it when people follow the recommendations we give and go to places that we visited. I mean, of course, it feels like, it feels like you've given something back and people have appreciated.
And your Instagram page focuses all here in Qatar? That's
Qatar. Yes. Everything is Qatar. Dionne has some details about the page also. It's all 70% of our following
Most
is
of our followers
all
are
Qatar-based.
Qatar-based.
Followers.
We started the page in Qatar, so the only time we post about anything else is if we happen to travel, then we have a little bit,
you
couple of
do.
posts.
There's a little bit of a sprinkling of somewhere else.
But majority of it is Qatar-based.
Okay, and so how long has the site been going for?
As a photography page, way back in 2016, in 2017-18 is when we shifted to 25.
I came in at a later stage. I wasn't associated with the page. I was there, active. I wasn't active. I came in much later, maybe 2000. I came in by 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years, yes.
And I'm curious, what is the food scene like here in Qatar? Because you've seen
So many restaurants. There's so many restaurants. It's very
honestly, right now in Qatar, I think a majority of the cuisines that you would not have found like maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago are available now in Qatar. And I can't tell you everything's authentic because I haven't been to some of the places that they have the food there. But there is so much of choice. There's a lot of choice. So if you feel like eating Indian food, Sri Lankan food, or you want to eat South American food, or you want to eat South African food, there's everything.
But how is it shared? Because with the restaurants, because all right, there's a lot of hotels that have popped up, and obviously they have a lot of restaurants within the hotel. What's the kind of percentage between hotels having restaurants and independent restaurants just standalone?
I think a lot of the independent restaurants, not many, but quite a few did not make it through COVID, because it was a very bad period for a lot of businesses, a lot of small businesses. But even now, I think new ones are coming up. Since World Cup, there are a lot of new ones that have come up, even standalone and even in hotels. I think there's a balance, and I think in Doha at any price point, you can enjoy a meal. Be it a 5 riyal thing or a 500 riyal thing, you have something or the other that you can enjoy in that price point.
I know, but all right, you got the hotel restaurants, but is the price point always at a certain point that you can't, not everyone can, enjoy those kind of restaurants? That it's more the standalones that, attract your general public? That
I mean, there are hotels that have good price points, with the offers on various discount apps, and there are also standalone restaurants that have good offers with the with the discount app. So a person he has a chance to choose. He gets a choice to choose which restaurant he wants to go to if you're using these discount apps. Maybe if you do not use them, then of course it's going to be a little pricey.
And I'm curious, I just want to ask what your experience has been, because now that you've got a nice big following, you are renowned for your Instagram and, the food that you try. Do you only get invited to restaurants when there's a big opening? It's come and try all the best. And, just a normal person like me, and what I've experienced over the years, I've been here, I'm in my 17th year now, is that what I've seen just from me going to restaurants is the fact that I will try it when the hoopla, razzmatazz at the beginning, and it's like, wow, that's amazing. That's, if I've lived in Italy, I've been to various places, and it's just like, wow, that's authentic. That's just really great. And then I've been maybe a year later, and something's not right. Something's not, it's lost its, what's gone on. And then when I look into it, it's because for the first 6 months, it's all about getting the reviews, getting the name out there, having the right people, the original people to cook the original taste. And then after 6 months, they all disappear, and then they bring in the staff to run it on a daily basis, and they don't have the knowledge, or they don't have the experience or the wealth of experience to make it just like them.
Just right.
I agree with you. There is a lack of consistency all over. There are very few restaurants that we can actually name and say that every time we visit, be it on an invite or be it on us visiting the restaurant, it has always been consistent. There's a handful of restaurants. But and that also, like you're saying, when we get invited to a restaurant, and then when someone goes and tries a restaurant and it's completely different, that's just, I feel that's just Doha.
Yeah, so how can you, I know, look, Instagram, everyone puts up, look at me, look how great, etc., etc. That's what Instagram has become. But do you follow up? If you've been for the launch and you've tasted it, do you go back without being invited? Is there a game plan when it comes to Instagram? What?
No, at times, yes, we do visit the restaurants. If we really enjoy a particular place or a particular dish or particular cuisine, we do go back and visit the restaurants. However, if after we've posted, if somebody messages us or leaves a comment stating that they had negative experience, we do raise that to the marketing people at the hotel.
You raise it, but you don't highlight it on your... Because then you've got to be careful that if you upset someone that...
It's not only that, because like I said, inconsistency is just a common thing. So I wouldn't want to post it and shame a restaurant, because it could be that person's experience. It could not be.
Well, it could be the chef having a
bad day.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It could be the server having a bad day.
And it could just be that the person didn't enjoy the food, and it was not. Food's a very personal thing.
Well, that leads on to my next question. How do you get that across then when it comes to your Instagram feed? Is because it is only personal to you guys. How do you relate that to your audience?
So for us, when we're posting things, we always write about how this is good for us.
And you mentioned which foods that we loved.
Yeah.
So some dishes.
Our taste.
Yeah. These were our favorites. So that was personal for us. Maybe those dishes might not be, good for you, or you might not like it.
For example, Indian food. We've lived outside of India for a very long time. We don't enjoy the extremely spicy Indian food. Yes, we eat it once in a while, but we don't really enjoy it. We enjoy a particular type of Indian food, which is not like certain restaurants, which the food is tasty, but it's not like you're just tasting spice. But again, that's my taste. If I send another person who enjoys Indian food, they may not like it.
Yeah.
So we make sure to mention that. But at the end of the day, food is personal. A dish may be made in a way which it's not supposed to be made in, but I may enjoy it. So I always recommend to people, if a restaurant has like a set menu or something like that, go try that first, or try the business lunch first. You get a little bit of a taste of what the restaurant is serving. So you don't go there, spend an entire big fat bill and say you didn't like the food.
I'm just curious. Is there a game plan when you turn up to a restaurant? What are you like detectives? Are you looking at the space? Are you looking at the restaurant, the way it's made up? Are you looking at the way the table's laid? Are you looking at the actual dishes that they present the food on? What's going through your mind?
Okay. Our background is in hospitality. We were both cabin crew. We were trained by one of the best airlines in the world. The training is about 3 or 4 months, and they train us in customer service, etiquette, how to speak to people, how you dress a table, how you clean a toilet. You need to check that toilet. So when we visit a restaurant, the first thing we do is we look at certain areas. So the server, then we see the food presented, how it's presented, the table layout, and if there's any issues, we do not go and just put it on the page and say this was what had happened and this is what we experienced. We just inform the marketing team that this is what the issue was. Let me give you an example. We went to a restaurant. We were served. I requested for watermelon juice. The watermelon juice served to us was spoiled. I didn't make a hue and cry and say, it's watermelon juice, it's spoiled. So I just called the server and I called the manager. I told the manager, this is what it is. We hope that doesn't happen again because it should not affect another customer. And it's not happened once. We've had issues with other restaurants also, but we raise it directly to the marketing team. They inform the chef, they inform the entire team, so it doesn't happen again.
Nice.
So to close the entire circle.
Yeah.
Loop, yeah.
I don't believe in shaming any restaurant publicly or any person publicly, because I don't think that's going to help anyone. When it comes to service, people have bad days. We've been in hospitality, we've been serving people. Trust me, sometimes people can get very annoying and there's only so much you can take. And sometimes you're just having a bad day. You can't always be a happy person. I mean, it's human. You can't always be a happy person. Someone's just having a bad day. You cannot always expect, yes, you're paying a premium and you're expecting a particular service. Yes. If you've had a bad experience, raise it to the manager.
Raise it to the manager. Say, this is what my experience was. This is what I had. This is what I was served. So what can be done about it?
Yeah.
But I'm just curious, as a business owner, I've been to business meetings where I go into an office and I can feel the vibe. I can feel whether it's a positive or whether it's a negative vibe. Do you get that with restaurants as well? And if you do get that kind of vibe, does that kind of relate to the dishes that you receive?
I understand the vibe you're talking about. It doesn't relate to the dishes that you receive, but I understand the vibe because we've been to restaurants in the past where you'll see the manager shouting at the server in front of you. That's just bad management.
Feedback.
That's just bad management.
If you want to select someone, he's part of your team, you would take him aside, away in an isolated place, give him feedback, not in front of a customer. It's happened to us several times where we've been to good restaurants, fine dining restaurants, where we have the manager, shouting at the server. And it's very sad. It's a very wrong way to deal with the situation.
Absolutely.
It has to be dealt with very diplomatically, tactfully, away from the customer. So the customer doesn't know anything what's happening.
No, I totally agree. I've been in that situation where the manager has been shouting at the staff. Or what I don't like sometimes is where the staff are literally bad-mouthing the manager, in front of
you can hear it.
And you can hear it. And it's just like, I don't need to hear it.
So in your mind, what happens is that restaurant is up there with all these issues. It's just, even if the food is good,
absolutely,
it just, the level, it's level, it's level level 10. It just comes down to level 2 just because of that, the vibe and everything.
Absolutely. Some restaurants where I've been and the staff are just picking their nails, just waiting to serve. And it's just like, hold on, look, I'm here to enjoy my meal. I don't want to see you in the corner of my eye picking your nails and just, bored stiff or on your phone.
Can I say something about that though?
Absolutely.
I think there is a lack of customer service training, specifically when it comes to not the high-end ones, but the medium and smaller restaurants. There is a huge lack of customer service training.
Customer service training, etiquette training, how you speak to the customer,
how you act around the customer,
how you act around, how you behave, everything. If you're in a fine dining restaurant, you need to know all the food you're served. Okay, I'm just going to give you one example of one restaurant that we really enjoyed, and the service was fantastic. The server knew exactly what he had to say. Masala library was amazing. The server knew everything from the wine to the cocktails to the main course. He knew exactly what was there in it, and that is what all the restaurants should have.
Absolutely.
The servers have to be trained perfectly, customer service etiquette and all.
And again, even if you don't know something, it's the way in which you deal with the customer and tell them, can't get back to you. It's that conversation that you have with the customer, and it's building that rapport with the customer in that little while that they're there.
But you guys have been here a long time. Have you seen slow progress in this respect with customer service? Because I can relate to the restaurants, but I see that across the board in every kind of industry. There's a lack of customer service that some companies get it right, some companies that they don't invest.
Yes.
True.
No.
Yeah.
All right, don't fight.
Yeah, it's just about that. See, all these hotels, they have a learning and development team. That team needs to enhance their training, regular trainings, regular refreshers, so the team knows, the servers know, and everyone knows what is the product you're serving, what is there in the product, everything. If you don't do it on a regular basis, you lose the customer.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm curious. Is being an influencer, doing this kind of work, is it profitable for you guys to leave your jobs and do this full time? Because I feel a lot of people want to aspire to what you guys do and see that as a way of leaving their dead end job or their their day-to-day job and do this full time.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
I hate the term influencer.
Well, what would you
Content creator. That's what we do.
Okay.
I think that sounds more like something that we do. If you get influenced on the way while we do that, very well. But we're putting out content. I think that is majorly what we do. If you can actually earn a living to sustain yourself over here, maybe once you get to a certain stage, yes, but not in the starting. Not in the starting phase.
No, when you're starting out, when you reach a certain followers, your content is good, and
it comes with its own share of issues, because if you're talking about sustaining a living with that, trust me, you're talking about delayed payments. You're talking about people want to negotiate everything. People don't value the things that you do. People don't understand the amount of time and effort that goes into editing. Like 20 minutes of footage that you got into a 30-second reel because people's attention span is this much.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't value all of that. So it's always negotiating. It's people want to see, the most that they can get from the least amount of payment they can make. So it's most.
But how does that make you feel? Because, all right, at the beginning when you're starting the page and, you haven't got that many followers, then are you more inclined to just accept anything that comes through the door? And then as you build those followers and you reach certain milestones, are you more picky in where you go and who you actually deal with?
Yes, to a certain extent, yes. However, even when we had a smaller following, we take things on only that actually are relevant to us, because there are certain, like sometimes marketing companies or marketing personnel will not they don't see whether you're actually fit for their product. It's like, you do food, but I can give you anything and you should be able to sell it.
We have a plan and we need to make sure
Yeah.
that we know where we want to go, which restaurants we want to visit.
Yeah.
And that's
And what
we do.
exactly it is that we are looking to work. We're looking to work with brands, yes, but I don't mind even if I have to, it's fine at any price point restaurant. I don't mind, but it should be something that's relevant to us. Because
When you say relevant, what are your
like, for example, we do food, right?
Yeah.
If you invite me to or you send me over a product that's not food related.
Oh, really? They do that? Even though your Instagram is all about food. It says 24-hour foodie.
Exactly. So if you send me sunglasses or you send me, jewelry and things like that, it doesn't make sense for me.
Maybe they want you to just walk in, and do that advert. We're just like, here's, close up of the sunglasses next to the food dish. Wow. But I love the fact that, yes, there isn't a respect sometimes with what you actually produce, and the fact that there is time and effort that goes into it. I think a lot of people just think that, okay, we'll invite them, they taste the food, and then you give us the content.
Yes.
But they don't understand that to produce the content takes time. That's post-production in terms, normal terms, content terms, and that takes time. They think, oh yeah, no, we're giving them, and I'm just curious with that as well. Do you actually get money for doing this, or is it always just a kind of a barter system where it's just like, okay, we're going to give you food, so you should be thankful that this menu costs 500 reals or 1,000 reals, so be grateful that we're inviting you to try it.
No, it's a balance between both. We do get invited to places, and again, we accept invites to places that we would want to go to. We also do get paid for content. So when people want us to create content around a particular, either some new opening or a new menu or things like that, or different things that they want to promote, but it's a balance between both for us.
Yeah.
We do get paid for things, and we do things on a barter. And
But now we get paid.
Okay, is it enough to leave your jobs and
No. Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
But fingers crossed.
Well, after you've been on this podcast, then it's just,
Maybe a paparazzi.
But I just, like you had mentioned, a lot of people thinking of, going to food blogging and become bloggers. What we've seen in the past after COVID is that a lot of people have become bloggers, but unfortunately, a lot of people have a lot of fake followers, and you will see that. And sometimes when we look at it, we see people having, we know there are apps also out there that you see that are fake followers and everything, which is very unfortunate. Do the work. No one wants to do the work, because when Dionne started the page, it's not easy. Like a lot of people think, oh, she goes and eats at all these fancy restaurants, and we're there.
They don't see the journey. They
don't see the journey. They don't see the journey. And they don't see the journey. It was tough. It wasn't easy to get to where we are today. But my request to everyone out there is, start working hard. Don't just do it, the easy way out. Don't take the easy way out.
And the thing is, now with social media, I know you said that social media is distracting and all of it. I think social media is informative. I think that if you go on the right side of the social media, you can learn so much.
Oh, absolutely.
Even
Totally agree.
with content creation, there are so many people on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, teaching you how to make videos that do well. And all you do is just follow their instructions, and you can actually create nice video at the end of it. But the whole fake following thing, so that happened to us, where somebody donated fake followers to our account.
During Ramadan, I got up in the middle of the night, so I was checking my phone, and I just checked the page, and I looked at Dionne, I said, there's 34,000 on the page, and I sent her a message. And she got up in the morning and checked, it's all fake followers.
So
and someone spammed us, and now we've got to sit and delete.
So we were at around 15,000 followers, and we woke up overnight to 34,000 followers, and we sat and deleted them. Almost 15,000 we deleted manually, and then again they put more followers.
But I've done that in the past, where I've deleted followers, but then Instagram says, no, you've only got a limit of how many you can delete every day.
So she reports it.
We've been reporting it as we've done it. We did it over time, deleting.
But how do you know which ones are the fake ones and which ones are genuine?
That's the thing. I just know the time frame between which it happened, and I'm looking at accounts before I delete them. But it's a very time-consuming task. It's a waste of time.
It's a tedious process, and
it's a waste of time. And I may have deleted some actual followers in that.
It did upset us a lot. We were very upset when we saw these numbers, because at the end of the day, we work with a lot of restaurants, a lot of hotels, and we don't want to send out, that we are buying followers, which is
Which messes with a lot of the engagement rates and all the insights that Instagram has. It messes with all of that, because your following is only a certain amount and the rest are all inactive, and it doesn't match up to the views that you're getting, or the likes that you're getting, or the engagement that you're getting. But it is upsetting, but it is what it is. And sadly, Instagram is not as, safe in terms of that. Anybody can drop them into anyone's account. Apparently somebody had extra money lying around. They wanted to spend it on us.
No. And how do you, so when you, like you mentioned before, where with fake followers, people set up Instagram accounts and then just buy fake followers. How can you tell that they've done that? What do you look for?
So basically it's the engagement, right? So if you have somebody who's got, say, 30,000 followers, and then their views on their reels are like 200, that doesn't match up. We've seen accounts where people got like 200 likes and 100 views. That math does not match up.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. Honestly, that doesn't bother me. To each their own. If people think that's what they can, sustain in the long run, then well, good for them.
Yeah.
But for us, we know how long the journey was, the work that we did, the brands, the relationships that we've made with brands and things like that.
When we started, when we were about 5,000, we used to visit all these properties, and most of them know us, because when we were 5,000, we were visiting them, and we've grown organically. We've never done anything fake, fake followers. That is something that we will never do, and we will continue to move forward organically. Unfortunately, also, but luckily now also you have apps which are there. You can know who has exactly how many fake followers. There are apps which some of the high-end hotels have. You can check exactly what is their engagement, how many fake followers they have. So, but I think this is an issue that needs to be really handled, addressed. It needs to be addressed, especially in Qatar. It needs to be addressed.
Dionne, were you going to say something?
No, it is sometimes frustrating when you put in the work and the effort and you see that, XYZ person has been invited to. At the end of the day, we're all human, feel all sort of emotions. People may say that it doesn't affect them. Of course, it affects everyone. To see and sometimes that the following that people have are fake and things like that, or their following is not based in Qatar, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think now marketing departments are becoming a little more aware of it. So hopefully that will change the future.
There was a question and it's just slipped my mind. I'm just curious, while I try and remember what I was going to say, is there a point where, because I tried to do a bit of, we did a podcast a while back, maybe 2-3 years ago, where we did a food podcast, and it was called the Happy Munchies. And it was myself and my salesperson at the time, and Jang Zell. Do you know her, the Happy People?
Yes.
So it was me and her going to restaurants and trying the food, and we were just talking, having chit chat, etc., etc. And I started it because I just wanted a free meal. I just wanted a business lunch each week. So I said to Anne, look, why don't we see if we can get a free business lunch each week? And then it expanded to, I'm tired of business lunches. Let's try if we can get a free brunches. No, I don't. I'm not a brunch person. An evening meal, And it was good at the beginning, but then I don't think I'm a food person.
There's only so much food you can eat.
Yes, I just, the generosity was amazing because the restaurant wants to show off their best dishes. So they were literally, the whole table will be full, and I'm just like, I don't want to be rude. But then I don't want to just roll off the table and roll down the hill, etc., etc. And I just, one meal would last me for like 3 or 4 days. I was just that full, and it put me off food. Is there a point that you just think, okay, I can't do this anymore? Or do you have like holidays where you go, okay, now we're just going to have the minimal amount of food?
We took that break after Ramadan.
After Ramadan, because during Ramadan,
we took a break after Ramadan.
We were doing an iftar and suhoor every day. It was for about 20 days at all the hotels. But the thing is with us, when we go to a restaurant, see, you eat with your eyes. You eat with your eyes. So the amount of food, the spread that's there, you eat with your eyes. And for us, automatically, we just eat nibbles. We nibble, and then we move on. A lot of people, when we meet people outside, some of our followers, they ask us, how come you don't put on weight? I said, yes, we do put on weight. But when we go to restaurants, we don't gorge ourselves on the food. We just eat nibbles because it's a job for us. This is a job.
But all right, it's a job for you, but then does that kind of take away the pleasure of, experience the food as it's a job? No? And how do you look so, slim and, youthful looking? How, is there...
Thank you. You're very kind.
Not as youthful looking as we look.
Is there a routine? Do you have a routine to keep yourself, healthy?
No, we don't have a routine, but at home...
Yeah.
Okay. Because when you visit the restaurants, the food is heavy, it's got lovely ingredients, spices and everything, but you can't eat it every day on a daily basis. So at home, our food is more bland. Yeah, that's one word for it.
Your cooking, that's what I get from my wife.
Yeah.
Your cooking is bland.
So it's bland. It doesn't have too many spices.
Yeah.
We have a lot of vegetables. It has to be one vegetable at least with a meal. Yeah, if you're having meat, it's got to be there, and it's bland. Very less spices.
That's how we balance it out.
That's how we balance it out. And less salt, but Dionne loves salt, but yeah.
But do you really cook?
I don't.
Is there do you feel you could just survive between each time you go to a restaurant?
I can cook. I can cook.
I can cook. I just choose not to.
Yeah, she chooses not to. I can make some lovely meat dishes. Yeah, but more Indian style.
Cook the meat.
Yeah, Indian style. Vegetables, I'm a little... Because, I want them nice and crunchy. I don't want them, just be dead in the pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
That was my mom's cooking.
Yeah, with vegetables, I'm a little... Yeah. Still difficult for me.
Yeah. Right. I love the whole social media and, congratulations. And I wish you all the fortune for that.
Thank you so much.
Is there, before I go back into your history, is there, what is the future for 24 Hour Foodie? Where's it going?
like I said earlier, it's going into
Ian's got a big smile on his face again.
going into
So, I just said this.
tell you, we don't know where the cat.
no. I think it's going.
All
to
right,
go
you can
more
come on
into-
next time and tell me.
Yes, exactly.
This is what
Yeah.
we've done.
No, I think we're going to be a little more interactive, a little more like food challenges and taste tests and things like that is where at least I want the direction of the page to go.
So I'm
into.
going to be mostly the food challenges, upcoming food challenges. I'm going to be the face of it,
Yeah.
and Dionne's going to be in the background. But I'm going to try to pull Dionne. I'm going to try and pull Dionne in it.
Is there anyone else that you follow that you admire that people might know when it comes to food? Instagram.
Not really food specifically, but the other person that I really admire is New in Doha. Fatima, she's a good friend.
Yeah.
Recently reached 100K,
Wow. Congratulations,
So-
Fatma.
and she's done really well, very well.
Very well.
Um,
I'm very happy for her.
we're very happy for her. I have another friend, the small print of being a mom. She's a mommy blogger, blogs a lot about kids and places to visit and things like that. So yeah, those are the people that inspire me. I'm surrounded by people that inspire me mostly.
But international wise, is there anyone that you follow that stands out? And are you these type of guys that just watch Netflix programs that is just focused on food? What
We do we do that as
We,
well.
we do watch the cooking shows and everything. It's fun. We enjoy it. Yeah, we do watch those cooking shows.
And I think internationally there is Safia Naigad. We watch her videos a lot, where they go to different places and she and her husband try out different foods and they try to make different foods. And yeah, I do love her content.
And you, Dionne, with your photography, how do you keep up to date with the latest filming techniques? Taking pictures to make it always a little bit different.
YouTube
And TikTok actually, of late
Okay.
TikTok and
Yeah.
YouTube both have a lot of informational content if you're on that side of it.
Yeah.
If you go into that wormhole
And
of
then you go-
watching that. But yeah.
Superb. Now, I'm just curious, looking, I went on your LinkedIn pages just to see what your backgrounds were, and you both studied Bachelors of Commerce.
Yes.
Were you
Nothing related to it.
together? Were you on the same course or different
Okay.
years? Because Dionne didn't have any dates on there, so I just...
We have a huge age gap
There's
between
a
us.
huge age gap.
No, really?
Yes.
Yes.
It- Is Ian younger?
Yes, I'm
No,
hot.
Dionne, I'm only...
I'm hot. Uh,
Yeah, no, I can see
there's a 9 years
There's a
age
9
gap
year
between the
age
two of
gap.
us.
Well done, Ian.
We met when we were flying with this leading airline in Qatar. We met there, and
So,
we know each
so
other.
you didn't know each other.
No.
We met
University.
we met
We met in
Doha.
Qatar.
So-
Qatar.
You choosing those courses, was that family focus? Was that influenced by the family, or was it something that you wanted to do?
It's something I want.
I think the Bachelors of Commerce was, at least at that point of time, there were only 3 streams. There was only commerce, arts, and science.
Right.
And I wasn't good in physics, so I didn't go for science. I was good in physics, so no science for me. Yeah, so it was the most logical choice was the Bachelor of Commerce, and it was more your major would be in accountancy. But looking back, there's something that is called Bachelor of Management Studies now. I would have taken that course.
Right.
But at least me, I've never done anything with accounts.
Okay.
From the time I've left college, I've never done.
Well, no, I see that. So why did you go into the joining airlines? What was it the attraction for both of you? Because you did the same course and then you went into working for an airline. What was it? Just because you wanted to travel the world, or?
That and I think I was surrounded by people who worked in the airlines. My dad did, my uncle did, my brother-in-law did. So it was traveling was something that I wanted to do. I think that is why I got into the field, and I got in. That was my first job, and I really enjoyed it for a good 7 years. Seen a lot of places,
And how is it, when you're working and then you're setting up your own Instagram page? How do you keep that balance between work and, well, your second job or pleasure? How do you keep that balance?
we were working. I think I used to do work the day, and then in the evenings is when we used to visit restaurants.
Restaurants.
I do all of the work that had to be done for the page. But yeah, that was the balance. And the weekends. It is exhausting.
It must be, but also like your digestive system as well, because I find if I eat late, I don't sleep very well because, really?
She sleeps like a baby every day.
Hold on. define sleep like a baby, because I had a son who literally would not sleep through the night.
Not that
And
baby.
he was a nightmare child.
That baby.
Okay, so when you're talking about baby, it's the one that literally is
Spark.
sound, spark. Okay, because I'm like my son. I literally am tossing and turning, and I can't.
I think we try and avoid at least when we don't have an invite.
Yeah.
We try and eat by 6 o'clock.
Mhm.
Okay, but if we have an invite, like I mentioned, it's like a job for us. We take it as a job and create content and put it out there.
And also, I think people look at it and be like, oh, you're going here or there. There are days that we don't want to, but then we do it because it's a particular thing that has to be covered on that day. They're having just for one particular day, or there's something new that's going to start the following day, so we get a preview to it. So there are days, of course, we're human at the end of the day, but there are days sometimes when we just don't want to.
But we do.
But like he said, it is a job at the end of the day, so we want to put the content out first. We want to make sure that people that follow our page know about this as soon as it happened and things like that.
Now, I am just curious, because you guys have been in jobs, since leaving university. Do you think there will be a point where, okay, it's not generating enough for you guys to, do it full time, but is there not a way that you can, create your own kind of agency or something like that? Because you have the expertise look, you've got a nice big following, you've done it. So you could share that expertise, you could create something, you've worked with all these brands, these restaurants. Is there not a way of transferring it? Because I know you guys are in between work at the moment.
Yes.
Is that not something that there is
It
potential?
is something that we're thinking about. Nothing concrete yet, but it's something that we are thinking about. Something that we would love to do because we both enjoy this space. So it is something that we enjoy doing and we want to do full time, make money off it, all of it. But it's not really something concrete yet.
At the moment,
phase.
we're just planning.
Yeah, because I was just thinking then when you were talking, really, you only need the rent paid because all your food is literally looked after. So you could just
We can say thank God.
yeah.
for
The worst case is literally take care of the rent.
that.
No, but we would love to have something of our own. And I think we would love to have something of our own in Qatar itself because of the way the place is. We love the place.
We love Qatar.
We've been here for 18, 20 years. Of course, we love the place. We feel more at home here than we do feel back home.
Yeah.
So we would love to have something of our own, and hopefully someday we will.
Inshallah, we'll have it.
Well, I thank you guys for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure. It's been enlightening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I loved, delving into that whole realm of food blogging, etc., etc. So thank you. And come on the show again when there is this new, thing that
Definitely.
you're smiling about. But it's been a pleasure having you guys on.
Camera.
Yes,
Thank you.
you have.
Thank
You
you
got
so
that. I wish I had that smile where I could just literally, that's the one thing that I cringe when people go, smile, Stefan, smile at the camera. It's just, but you've got it. You've got it. It's perfect. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Dionne. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for watching. Just a quick shout out to our sponsor, Mahaba, the #1 destination guide here in Qatar. Obviously, you've probably come across Hillary and that team. They're a great team. Pick a copy up at your local supermarket or go online and find out all the latest information about everything here in Qatar. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.